Hello, guess what, I have a new Slingshot to show you guys today. It's a natural fork, and it's a over the top shooter. It's a very nice slingshot. You hold it like that, and it has a very nice low fork, and it's very strong. I've shot it before. I've taken the I can't show you because it's not exactly the best weather out today. I've taken the bands off because I like presenting them without bands, so you can actually see the whole slingshot. And the next few minutes of this video will basically show you how I made this slingshot turn from one of these natural forks into something like that. So I hope you enjoy it. Okay, right, now to start off with, first you need a natural fork. Now I got my natural fork here. It's a white gum. It's off a white gum tree. It's white gum wood. It's bloody solid wood, I'll tell you that. You know, it doesn't dent nothing. It's good solid wood for slingshots. Only bad thing is that the way I got it was that pretty much the tree had to fall on my house. Well, not the tree, the branch. It's off a tree. They're called widowmakers over here because one minute they'll be on and the next minute they just come and snap off. So, branch about that thick, and it's quite weighty. Well, this here is probably about a kilo, maybe, of wood here, and it's not that much. You know, it's a good heavy wood. So the first thing you need to do is to get your size that you want. So I gave myself a lot of options. I gave a nice long handle, and the forks I made that one nice and long as well. So I can just decide how long and how big I want it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them down to the size I want. Cut all these knobs off. There's one there, and there's a few load here, and then there's that ugly bit right there and there. So first thing I'm going to do is take all these off, the knobs off, and I'm going to cut down to size, and then I'm going to sand away all this. Okay, so now I'll cut it off to roughly the same size that I want it to end up like. It'll probably be a bit smaller than this and it'll look a lot better. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all the knobs off, and I'm going to shave all this bit down here and just take all the bark off it and just give it the overall finished shape. And to do that wood, I'm going to use my trusty knife here. It's a brilliant knife. It's a Gabba knife. It's the same one that Bear Grylls uses, because I like Bear Grylls a lot, and I thought I'd get one the same, and it's a brilliant knife. So we'll see how it goes with that. Okay, the next bit that we have to do is after just taking pretty much all this crap here off. There's a few little things, but it's just the wood is so bloody hard. You just can't get some of the knobs and that off. So the next thing I'm going to do is file it down into the shape that I want. So far that's what it looks like, and then I'm going to use just some pretty much heavy duty files. These are both the same, but here there's 4 sides instead of just 2. I can tell you that's going to need a lot of sanding, and then just a little rat's tail file just to get into the bits that you can't get in with rectangular ones. So that's the next step. Right, basically I've just sanded it down. Sanded it into not too much of a point, but just a little bit of a point how I wanted it. All the knobs and that are gone. There's one there, and a big one there. Just taking all that down, it's the size I want. And if you ever look very carefully, it's very furry and rough. Where the very rough file was. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a series of finer ones, which is this one here, and then eventually I'm going to go all the way down to this one here, which is a lot. You got the camera won't be able to tell. Hopefully it can, but I doubt it will. This one here is a lot finer. The teeth are very close together. This one here, the teeth are further apart, so it makes it more smoother when you use that one, and then when you use that one, it makes it more smoother. And then I have this one here, which looks like a half cake, just to get into the bits that these won't go. And then to round it all off, I've got this one here where I can put the bit around here where I can attach the bands to. So I'll show you that bit next. Okay, I missed one step in showing you on the video because I didn't think you really needed to know, because basically all I did was it was rough, and then I used sander to very soft files, and then I used the softest sandpaper I could find, just went over it, and you can kind of guess what that looks like. If you can't, I'm sorry, but you should be able to, and you don't really need to, they're all going to look different, so it doesn't really matter. The next step that I did was I used stain. I'll show you here. Just use that colour stain. It's quite nice dark stain, but it comes up on the wood quite light and it looks rather nice. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to put gloss on it, but for now I'm just going to put another coat of this stain on and then leave that to dry for a while and then see how it goes. Okay, I've left the stain and gloss on overnight. It's come up quite nice. Could have come up a little bit better, and there's a few scratch marks in, and also there's bigger bits here of stain because I left it up like that, so it'll give it a nice finish, and then I turned it over just in case there was still a bit of wet in it, so gave it an even coat. But then my dad's come along and put it down on the ground like that, so it's basically made it all drip to that point there, so I just have to get that bit of a sand over and it should be good. So the next thing after doing that is I'm just going to put some bands on and hopefully it should be a good shooter, so we'll have to see that in the future. And also I off the branches that fell down I cut 2 more natural forks off. I hope you can see them. Quite nice. These ones are nice and they're nice and dry now. I've left these for about 2 days, and I should show you these when they're done. So stay tuned for that next video, and thank you for watching.